let's look at a super performing clean energy ETF. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. Okay, we will look at this one. The PBW is the ticker, Invesco Builder Hill Clean Energy ETF. This is a very well performing ETF. I do have some portfolios here in the megatrends that give you exposure to this kind of space. I do have eco-friendly energy, and I have alternative energy. Massively outperforming here the S&P 500 for sure, big time. The reason why I draw a distinction between what I call eco-friendly energy and clean energy is because, well, alternative energy is because there's quite a few of these alternative energies that are carbon neutral-ish, but they are not necessarily good for the environment, good for the ecology. As an example, windmills, they are green, but animals hate windmills. That's one example. Nuclear energy is also, it's an alternative energy, but it is extremely hostile to the environment when things go wrong. Yeah, so as an example, solar energy is what I would call an eco-friendly energy. But anyway, let's look at the ETF. So this is the seasonality. We have quite a few years, so we can draw some conclusions here. We can see that October is, a 50-50 month. November is actually the weakest month. That's a problem. December is very strong. Let's look at it against the S&P 500. And let's get a bunch of years. Okay. So October, it's one of the weaker months, but then you have November here, which is especially weak. Minus 3% underperformance on average. So that is quite significant. If we go here and look at, the bigger charts, so here you can see some of the more recent developments. Extreme rally here after it went public. When people were super bullish on clean energy, and then we have a complete unraveling. So let's actually measure how big the fall was. So from this high to the low, that's minus 88%. That's pretty significant. But after that, you can see how we formed this monstrous rounding bottom. You could argue that this is a bit of a sharp cup and handle. So you have a bit of a handle here. The recent move has been absolutely incredible. And, the people who used to clean energy, they are now, many of them have been blown out of the waters. That's partly what happened here, but also the clean energies have become far more competitive. The thing is that, everything in moderation. I think that you could make a very, very strong case that if you look at the overbought levels here, we are at some of the most overbought levels we've been historically. We can see that many times in the past, even during this rally actually, this rounding bottom phase and the cup and handle, we have seen some sizable corrections. As an example, this correction here was minus 23-ish%. This right here, okay, let's get it. From this high to this low was minus 50%. Hence, I would certainly say that long term I am very bullish on clean energy. But I do think that this is very excessive. I mean, we are way above all of these moving averages. We are very overbought. The accumulation distribution is corroborating the rally. There's a strong correlation here with the S&P 500 at 84%. Let's look at the daily data points. I mean, the bulls are absolutely in control. Yeah, but this is getting very euphoric. If you look at the RSI levels, we are overbought. It has been able to be overbought for extended periods before, but you can see here that historically there usually is much more dynamism here in the RSI. We usually go up and then we go down. If you look at how long we've been in this upper range of the RSI and go back, it is basically without precedence. And tying to this whole thing about letting the trend be your friend, when you have this very extended period which is very different from the overall trend of this security, there is reason to be very skeptical of this, because it is an anomaly. Hence, I do think that if you want a long position in this ETF, I think there will be way better entry opportunities on the horizon. I do think that it is becoming shortable. There is some exhaustion here, and I think you could put on a bearish position. I wouldn't want to hold on too long to that bearish position though, because I do think that the longer term picture is decidedly bullish. But yeah, it is just very excessive, and the seasonality also strongly suggested shorting opportunities on the horizon. If we go here to Finviz, options are available. It is shortable. That's interesting. Performance 103% year to date. I mean, extreme moves. If we go here, let's look at the dividend and valuation. So let's look at the valuation here. So the PE is at 74, which is quite extended. The NUSC, that is the ESG small cap ETF. Yeah, I mean, we literally have the highest PE here. So yeah, so very overbought, and also very extended here on the valuations. Going to the dividend, there's a 27% dividend. Well, no, 0.27%, okay, 0.27%. Which is, it is a mediocre dividend, hence you are not, like, the dividend is not sufficient for you to sort of like be incentivized to hold on, just for the dividend. If you look here at, the even lower dividend here, it is the Advisor Shares Dorsey Wright Microcap ETF. Lend 7.58%. That's it's a completely different business, peer-to-peer lending and crowdfunding. Let's actually look at XOP, which is the oil and gas, which is definitively not clean energy. So here you have a dividend here of 2%, a much lower PE. I do think that there will be some speculatively bullish opportunities here for the fossil fuel stocks, but longer term the picture is very grim for fossil fuels. So sort of like that's the thing here. But some of the biggest moves in the security actually comes from those who are emerging, and also those industries that are dying. Hence, there could be some fantastic trading opportunities when it comes to the fossil fuel ETFs and stocks. Okay, so to sum up my take here, long term, I'm decidedly very much bullish on clean energy. But looking at the coming month, maybe even months, I think there's very good reason to think that the overall trend will return, which for this ETF is that there will be some correction, which means that there could be a good shorting opportunity. Alternatively, it will be for a long position, a bullish position, there will be a better entry than this. Whatever you do, of course, don't fight the trend, and may the trend be with you.